I am Jamie from Sci-fi-vision. Thanks for talking to
Hi,
me.
Jamie.
Appreciate it. I very much enjoyed it. I kept watching and watched them all in 2 days.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I
That's
enjoyed
so
it.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Amazon's gonna love that. They love binging.
So talk about how you decided like what to pull from from all the books, I guess, what you decided to pull, how you decided that, and what to add kind of your own.
I went into the books and when I decided I was going to tell this story, and I'm thinking about, well, what can I bring to the table, to the party that's new? I went back into the books and realized there are elements of the books that never made it to the screen, and I think a big part of that is, the adaptations in the past were movies, and if you're telling a movie, you only have a limited amount of time, and especially if it's a mystery, if you're forced to make a choice between plot and character, you're gonna have to go with plot because you gotta wrap that story up. Where we have the advantage of telling a story over 8 episodes, so we get to do an intricate, very twisty thriller, but we also get a chance to go into the characters, and a lot of that is what I when I was going into the books, I really was drawn to the relationships Alex Cross had, the things that I knew learned about Alex Cross that weren't in the movies, the relationships that he was having, the romantic relationships, the friendships that he had, especially with John Sampson, such an integral part of the books that hadn't really made its way on the screen yet. So I knew I could do that. Also, the backdrop, it was DC, but in the books, DC is very prominent, and you get to see other aspects of DC that hadn't made it. So those were all things I felt like that's easy money for me. And then finally, I thought, I'm going to tell a new story because I want the ability to tap into our day and age and the topics and the themes that are happening right now. But I also want a slightly fresh version of Cross, and he's going to have a swagger that matches this day and age. So that's what we went for.
Does it make it more difficult though that you're adapting it? I mean, obviously you have a blueprint, but you're limited to some extent in what you can do and what you can't do because you have to, follow that.
And most people who've been writing a long time feel like, when you have parameters, they actually trigger more imagination. So the creative solutions are often better than lead to something much better than the problems. And so I think that this was an example of that. I didn't think it was limiting at all to have to draw from existing characters. I think that was an advantage. And the fact that there's mythology that you want to search, that's not a bad thing, because that there's people out there that really love that mythology. And so if you can pay homage to that, then that's a great thing. And you are starting with so much ammunition to begin with. And James Patterson has been very supportive of all the departures that I wanted to make, and the places that I wanted to take the character. So I just thought it was a great opportunity and a great experience overall.
That was what I was going to ask. Talk a little bit about working with him and, and creating this.
Yeah, it's funny because when I started onto the project, and I had a couple conversations with James before I signed on, just to make sure that he was okay with the direction I wanted to go, and he supported it. And then I started writing, and he had offered that he would read and give me notes. And I was thinking, this guy writes like 20 books a day. How is he going to have time to read and give me notes? And I started sending him pages, and I was thinking I'm probably not going to hear from him for a while. And I would send him pages on like a Thursday night, and we'd be on the phone first thing Friday morning. And he would have read it and really responded well and given me great feedback about the characters, about potential brainstorming ideas, about the mystery. And he really just voracious, and he is that prolific, but he's also that invested in what he wants the show and the character to be, because he feels like Alex Cross is one of his kids.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good that worked out that way. There's a lot of fans, obviously, of this book series. Were you worried at all what they would think?
I started off with that same nervousness that anyone should have if you're going to delve into a series that has this type of legacy, and start thinking about, oh, if you don't get this right, how people would come for you, or you might be disappointing legions of fans. And I had to talk myself down, because as an artist, I really don't like being motivated by fear. So that's when I say, okay, well, let's focus on the story you want to tell, and let's focus on the ideal scenario, which is that you can take something that everyone loves and you can honor it and then build on it and bring something new to the party. And so I just tried to keep the focus there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I did enjoy it because I kept watching it. So
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. I hope everyone else does.
yeah, me too. Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Jimmy. Take good care.